In this video, we are going to be taking a look at another problem, problem number 7, which is about guess the number, and it is exercise 5.32 in this particular box. You have to program by detailed edition. The question says, guess the number. Write a C program that plays the game of guess the number as follows. Your program chooses the number to be guessed by selecting an integer at random in the range 1 to 1000. The program then types, I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. Now the player will now type first guess. The program will respond with one of the following. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? Yes or no? Now too low, try again. Or too high, try again. Now if the guess is correct, your program should loop until the player gets the number. Okay, if the guess is incorrect, your program should loop until the player gets the number. Your program should keep telling the player too high or too low to help the player zero in on the correct answer. Alright, so I've already created a file. I have named it numberguess.c. And these header files, we have already used them in the previous problem we saw, problem 6. stdio.h, time.h, stdlib.h. And I've created a function prototype, void guess game void. And then we have function main, and then we have seeded the random number generation, because we are going to be generating numbers randomly. So I've seeded a random number srand to seed the rand function that we are going to use, and then I have already invoked the guess game. All right, so now it's left for us to go and define this particular function guess game and make sure that it properly meets the requirement of the problem that we are required to tackle. So I'll just skip 2 lines, white space, and then define my function, void guess game, and it doesn't require any argument, void. So now and guess game function. All right, so now the first thing that we go back to the question and see what we are required to do. So we have a write a C program that plays the game of guess the number as follows. Your program should choose a number to be guessed by selecting an integer at random in the range 1 to 1000. So we are going to generate numbers from 1 to 1000 randomly. So for that, we have a function rand. So let me say guess the number that we require the user to guess, and then I'm going to invoke rand function, and we are going to generate a number between 1 to 1000. So 1 to 1000, we say rand modulo 1000 is going to generate numbers from up to 999. All right, up to 999. But we are required to generate numbers from 1 to 1000, excluding 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say 1 plus whatsoever number that is generated. Even if we have 0 that is generated, number, because any number, we say we divide a number by 1000, say our function run generate 1000, and we have 1000 divided by 1000. We know it is going to be 1, and the remainder is going to be 0. When we add 0 to 1, we have 1. And also when we have 999, when we add it to 1, we are going to have 1000. So this adding 1 to this particular expression, arithmetic expression, will make sure that we have a number between 1 to 1000. All right, so now we have find a way of generating the numbers from 1 to 1000. Now we go back to the question again, generate one number to 1000, and then the program then types, I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. Okay, now we need to ask the user to this particular expression. So we need a print format to ask the user to perform the guess. So print format, and I'm going to enter exactly what is in the questions there. So let me go back and copy it. It says a program should choose a number, not a program. I have a number between, can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. So let me copy this. And then I'm going to go down and put it in my print format. In my print format here. So I have this. All right. String. And then I'm going to paste it here. All right. So I have number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? All right, let me have another printf. So let me just close this one. Can you guess my number? And then let me have another printf. Printf. All right. Can you guess my number? I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess so I can have 3 printfs. All right. Oh, I can make use of single printf. No problem. Let me just do with the 3 printfs. So we have this. Please type your first guess. This is a prompt asking the user to type a number. So I haven't closed this. Let me close this, putting up addresses statement time we need to. All right. So after this, I have a number between 1 and 1000. New line. Can you guess my number? New line. And then please type your first guess. New line. All right. Please type your first guess. No, I don't need a new line here, please. So let me just leave it as it is. Now this will be a prompt so that the user will just enter his number on the same line at the last printf. So we have this. We have a number. This will print exactly this particular string. I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. So this is a prompt asking the user to now enter a number. All right. So now we need to get this number from the keyboard that the user is going to enter via the keyboard. So now we defined, all right, I've already defined a number, but I haven't declared it. So I need to declare this particular number, that is variable. So let me int guess, all right? So now I need to guess int number. All right, let me rename this variable as number, as a number that is going to be generated. Int number. Now what the user is going to enter as his response. Oh, all right. Oh, anyway, let me just leave it as the number to be guessed. This is my guess. This is my guess, and then it's going to be response. Number to be guessed. Number guess. Number response. Okay. So let me create another variable. Let me name it response. So int response. The user is going to enter his response, and then I'm going to make use of scanf function to get the response from the user. So d decimal integer and store it in address of response. So now this is get the response from the user and store it via this. Now I need to check to make sure that the user enter the right thing. And if the user does not enter the right thing as according to the question, the player taps a false guess. The program responds with one of the following. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? Yes or no? That is if the user gets the number. And if the user, and depending if the number is less than the guess, we say too low, try again, too high, try again. If the guess is your program should, if the guess is incorrect, your program should loop until the player gets the number. Your program should keep telling the player too high or too low to help the player zero in on the correct answer. So that is what we'll be doing. So this is basically, this is a looping. This will require the use of a looping control structure. So let's go and see how we can make use of a loop to achieve that. So now into response, we're going to have the response now. So let me make use of a do while. So we know we have do, do, and then we have this, the while we have the condition. So while number is less than while our response that the user is going to enter, while the response that the user is going to enter, while that particular response remember guess the number, will you like to play again? Excellent, you guess the number. Will you like to play again? Yes or no? All right. All right. So okay, let's keep this for now, not now. Let's see, while the response that the user is going to enter is not equal to the guess, the number that has been generated by our function run by this line number 47, then we want these instructions to be repeated out. So while the response is not while the response that the user enter is not equals to the guess, then we want this particular instruction to be carried out, and we are going to code it. Now we check if the response that the user entered, if a response is less than guess, the number that has been generated, then according to the question that we should print, we should inform the user that that number is too low, try again. So I'll just copy this, copy it, and then I'll come off here and then have my print format function, and inform the user of this particular something. All right, so too low, try again. The number is too low, try again. So this will from the user. Now the user will know that the number, it will assist the user in trying to guess the number correctly. So and if now and while. Now if the number is less than or also else, that means that the number okay, but let's perform check again. Else if response is greater than guess, then we'll say too high, try again. So let me just copy this. According to the question, it says we should inform the user that the number is too high. So too high, try again. Too high, try again. All right, and else if. All right, and else if. Now next, then this will now try again, and this act as a prompt to prompt the user to enter a number again, and the user is going to enter a number again, and we are going to get the user then input via scanf function, yes. So we have, and then the small integer and a response. All right, so this is this will take care of when the number is not what we want the user to enter. This will take care of when the user has not entered the correct response. Now what if the user enter the correct response? Then what if the user enter the correct response? And even if the user enter the correct response, the program will still continue. Now it will prompt the user to either excellent, you get the number, will you like to play again, yes or no. So now we need to have two looping control structure. One of them is nested. This one, we're going to nest this one for the situation when the user did not enter the right input. Now let's have another major looping control structure. Now that will take care of everything when the user enters the right input and when the user has not entered the right input. So what I'm going to make use of do while. Then I have this format of a do while. Remember that the program says if the user wishes to exit out of the program, he's going to enter no. So I'm going to say while response, and I'm going to make use of integers, 1 to represent yes and 2 to represent no. All right, so I can make use of 1 and 0, 1 to represent yes and 0 to represent no. All right, so and note, okay, while it's not equals to 0, but if we use 0 while response is not equals to all right, won't we have an issue here? All right. Because if the user can have do the following while the response is not equals to will you like to okay, this is when the user has successfully all right, so yes, it's going to work, because I was thinking that if the random number generation can generate numbers, any of the integers that we wish to use to represent yes or no, but what will happen is that the program will prompt the user to asking him to choose to continue or to exit out of the program after he has successfully responded to he has guessed the number correctly. So I can make use of 1 to represent yes and no, and 0 to represent no. So I can say here while response is not equals to 0. So I want the program to perform this looping. So for the first time, the user has entered a response because they had the number random number generation has generated random numbers, and it has asked the user to guess the number, and if the response matches the guess, then it's going to perform the following. I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. And the user is going to respond, and then we say while the response is not equals to guess, if response less than guess, you should do this, and then that. Now if number now equals to guess at the end of this while, if now we are going to check for if the number equals to guess. So we say if response is equivalent to guess what the user has entered, then we are going to going to print out something according to the exercise. It says excellent, you get the number, will you like to play again? So let me just copy this. I copy it and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to paste it here. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? And I've said Y to represent represented with 1, or N to represent it with 0. So now the user is going to enter the case may be while response is not equals to 0. All right, so we have this, and now depending excellent, you get the number. if response equals the guess. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? Now the user is going to, let me break this one down. Let me take this one down here like this. I need to put a string here, close the string, and I need to add another something here. All right, so this is going to match up with what we have there as a continuation of this particular string. Will you like to play again? 1 for yes and 0 for no. All right, so and if, let me end this, comment this, and if. Now this will act as a printout, and now I need to get the response immediately, so I can have scanf response, and then D, and okay, not capital D, D, and response, now then it will just come here and check. While the response is not equals to 0, the loop will check if response is not equal to 0 at this point. Where response is not equal to 0, because we say n for 0. If it is equal to 0, then the program will terminate. The function will terminate and go back to the line of code that invoked this particular function. Else, if the user type 1, then it will go back again and begin the iteration afresh again. So we have this, and it will go back to this particular do again. All right, and when it comes to do, we are expecting the program to loop the to regenerate the numbers again and ask the user. So actually this line of code is going to be within I have a number between all right, so this we should be within the do while control structure. So I'll just copy this one and I'm going to paste it here. All right, so we have this scanf response. So let's go back over the code again and see. Okay, let me just copy, delete this one. Delete. All right, so the first thing, as soon as we enter the function, is going to enter into a do loop, and it is going to generate a number between 1 and 1000, and then it's going to prompt the user to enter a number between, I have a number between 1 and 1000, can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. Then the user is going to enter his first guess. Line number 57 is going to get the guess, and then it will check line number 59 is going to perform a check to make sure if the response what the user type is not equivalent to number that has been generated, then it's going to loop through asking him and guiding him toward choosing the right number until the user has guessed the right number. If the number is too high, if the number is too low, it's going to tell him that his guess is too low, and if the what he has guessed is too high, it's going to tell him it is too high. So it will continue guiding him until he gets the right response, and when he gets the right response, then it's going to exit out of the loop, and then it will find himself in line number 78. Line number 78. Now this will check now if the response is equivalent to guess. Now okay, yeah, are we doing the S? Now we check if the number is equivalent to guess. If it is equivalent to guess, then it's going to print out, perform this particular print out. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? Asking the user whether he wants to play again, and then it will get his response. The user can either choose yes or no. Now if the user chooses 1 as yes, then the program will continue. Else, if you choose 0 as no, then the program will terminate based on this condition that we loop termination condition we have, while response is not equals to 0. So if his response is 0, that means that the program will not re-enter into the loop again. I will not go on to generate another new number again. All right, so as we can see, this will fulfill this will tackle, address the problem that we have of guessing number guessing problem. All right, so this is the end of the function. So now we are going to compile this program and run it, and then if there's any error, we are going to run tackle the error again. So let me bring this one down again. All right, again, I would like to play again. All right, then we have this. Would I like to play again? Yes, statement terminator here. So let's go around and compile this program. If there's any error, we come and fix the error, and if there's any error, we run it and see how the program works. So GCC, the name of the program is number guess, and the output, we want it to output as number guess. Well, let me deal with this. So we have undeclared first use in this function. So we have line number 87, we have an error there. So let's go and fix this error. Line number 87. While response. So, okay, so I need to declare response outside this particular loop. So I'll come here and declare it int response. So I don't need to declare it here again since I've already declared it. So let me do away with this response. Alright, so let me go back and recompile the code. Run it. So perfect, we don't have any error, but let's run it to make sure that it is going according to the logic of the question. Number guess, run it. I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. So my first guess is 200. Too low. Try again. So if 200 is too low, let's type 300. Too low. Try again. So let me type 400. Too low. Let me type 700. Too low. Let me go for 800. Too low. Let me go for 900. Okay. Then let me go for 950. Then let me go for the 1000. Too high. All right, so 1000 is too high, so let me go to, and you say 950 is too low, so let me go for 950 and 970. 970. Excellent, and I have successfully guessed the number. The number is 970. Excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? If I want to play again, I will select 1 and enter. I have a number between 1 and 1000. Please type your first guess. So let me go for 500. Too high. Try again. So let me go for 400. Too high. Let me go for 300. Too high. Let me go for 200. Too high. Let me go for 100. Too high. Then let me go for 50. Too low. Then let me go for 60. Too low again. Then let me go for 70. Too low. Then let me go for 80. Too high. That means the number is between 70 and 80. Then let me go for 75. Too high. Then let me go for 74. Excellent. I've get the number. So if I want to exit, I'll just enter 0. And the program has exit. So as we can see, we have successfully coded this guess the number program, and the program is working perfectly. So you can go through the code to see how we have been successfully able to achieve that, and the code is going to be available on the GitHub repository of this particular tutorial series. So thank you for taking your time to watch this video.